This is the doggy food pyramid. Here at the top of our pyramid, we have yams. These are tubers. These are sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are full of vitamins, such as, vitamin C, vitamin iron, vitamin B, calcium, magnesium, and also sweet potatoes are orange on the inside. Anything in orange is high in beta carotene. Beta carotene is good for the development of vision, eyes. So it'll keep your dog's eyes in good health, and I'm sure it does something else. We won't get into that. Also, when you're feeding these sweet potatoes, they say the skin is bad for them, and I actually believe I had ate some potato skins not too long ago and had a hell of a allergic reaction that lasted about a week. So definitely we're gonna boil these, and then we'll scoop them out and take the skin off, to make sure that we don't have any issues with the skin. They say that these are full of dietary fiber. This dietary fiber will feed the good bacteria, the good foliage in the dog's stomach. Dog foods add yeast. And I had a video previously telling everybody about the yeast. Dog foods add yeast to try to break down the corns and the different grains that are hard on the dog's stomach and system, because the yeast can break those down. So they feed the dog yeast. Look, he's ready to eat this thing right now, but it ain't cooked. He's ready. So he knows what it is. He recognizes these things. And for some reason, the dogs love him. He's sniffing that, baby. He want that, but it ain't cooked yet. So we like to break them down and break down the sugars. Normally, we'll give a dog a whole sweet potato, and that'll be a supplement to their meal. What we're trying to do now is we've been going up in viewership, we're going up in the quality of our puppies, we're going up in the quality of everything we're doing here. So what we're trying to do is make their diet a better diet, and increase the meats that we're giving. So normally we give chicken. We give a lot of chicken. And one thing I noticed when we're giving this chicken is they are pooping out just straight up pellets of calcium pellets, just basically bone. One thing I know about bone is hard on the kidneys. Thus the word kidney stones. I believe kidney stones are made out of calcium. Could be wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. So we don't want to, and also I'm kind of thinking, okay, if this chicken is full of calcium, I want to give the dogs more proteins and healthy fats. So I'm sure that this chicken was not providing a significant amount of protein. It was providing more bone because, meats contain a lot of water. In this case, it was containing a lot of bone because I see this, all they poop out is straight bone. So we decided to incorporate beef. This is a 10-pound thing of ground beef. And we also have pork. This is a 10-pound quantity of the pork. Now, when it comes to the chicken, we feed the chicken raw. So we're going to start actually cutting back the dogs that are putting on lots of weight. Like Krypton is getting really pudgy and chubby, and so is Gorilla. She's really pudgy and chubby, like really overweight. So we're going to cut back on how much food they get. They're just going to be hungrier. But one thing we notice is when you give these kinds of foods, they don't show that much hunger. But we do supplement. We give a lot of diamond puppy food and diamond high energy food. Those are the foods that we are using. So when it comes to chicken, I was on the chicken. And when it comes to chicken, 3 ounces of chicken.
You said 3 ounces. That's 2.
Okay, babe. They know what the fuck I just said. 3 ounces of chicken is 128 calories. And it's actually higher in protein. It is 26 grams of protein and 10 grams of fat and 3 ounces of chicken. So it's the highest in protein of all the things. So, but it's lower in calories. So when you go to pork is 206 calories per 3 ounces, and beef is 213 calories per 3 ounces. Pork has 12 grams of fat. 12 grams of fat. Oh, I'm so wrong about this. 12 grams of fat per 3 ounces. And beef is 22 grams of protein per 3 ounces. Pork is 23. And chicken is 26. So chicken is just 3 more grams of protein higher than the rest of these foods. But what I do know is chickens are fed a high protein diet. Some chickens are actually fed meat. Some chickens are actually fed meat, like basically other parts of the chicken byproduct meal. They actually will feed this to chicken, but they will not feed byproduct meal to cows or pigs, pork. When it comes to the feeding of these chickens, and this is going to become important in a few seconds, when it comes to the feeding of a cow and the feeding of chickens and beef, chickens do not need, more than 10% of grains. No, I'm all wrong on that. Sorry, I'm getting confused with these notes. But basically, they're all fed different things. Chickens consume corn, grains, and those corn grains cause inflammation in the dogs. Beef cows are fed like peanut shells, they're fed barley, they're fed different grasses, and they're fed a little bit of corn as well. And pigs also eat a little bit of grain as well, but pigs really don't eat any grain. With these beef and cows, pork and cows, they eat a lot of grains, a lot of like grasses, and pigs actually eat granola. It's like a flour, a granola mill of just these like a flowering flour that they take the seed out of to make granola oils. But why is this important? The diets of these animals will contribute to the proteins that they are. These animals are not designed to eat proteins, so by them feeding proteins to the chicken is going to have a higher amount of compounds of proteins that are just, maybe not be as normal as an animal that is eating a vegetable diet, and it takes those vegetable materials and turns them into protein. Chicken, beef, and pork are what's called complete proteins. Complete proteins provides you with the 9 essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are the amino acids that your body can't produce. I believe there's like 26 amino acids, I believe. Amino acids are like the building blocks of proteins, the building blocks of your body. So feeding high proteins will provide the dog with all the nutrients, all the building blocks it needs to produce muscles, tissues, and everything, instead of feeding the dog a high amount of corn and byproduct meals or whatever garbage that's in dog food. So I know that's a little confusion, but what I also want to get into this to say is, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to make 2 days out of this. So we're going to try to get 2 days beef out of this 10 pounds. We'll stretch it to make 2 days. And for the pork, we're going to try to stretch it and get 2 days out of that. So that's 4 days of food. And then the chicken can actually last 3 days easily. So that's a week worth right there. And then we'll be adding in these potatoes as well. So we shouldn't have to even feed dog food unless we just really want to. But what I want to actually get into is the fact of the protein levels. So let's kind of break down the protein per body pound, per weight. So it's 23 grams of protein and 3 ounces of, let's go with the lowest one. Pork is 23 grams of protein per 3 ounces. Beef is 22. So we'll go with the 22. 22 grams of protein and 3 ounces. So a dog that is roughly 100 pounds, which is most of our dogs are, they're almost 100 pounds. Well, we'll just all put them on a scale of 100. And that's what will kind of put them on a scale of 100 for their nutritional dietary needs. So if you have a dog that's 100 pounds, you want to give that dog 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I think that's the general rule for how much protein an animal needs. Could vary from animal to animal, but this number is going to be just on a sliding scale. And then you want to also take into consideration the quality of these proteins. So for instance, if you were using a dog food and the dog food was 23% protein, you know, only 10% to 5% of that protein is probably actually good for the dog. Whereas this meat, you can take it full face value because it's fresh meats. And we'll put it on a sliding scale, so I'll show you what I mean. So if you have a 100-pound dog, you need 100 grams of protein. Well, if you give a dog, let's say a reasonable amount will be 9 ounces, I believe. 9 ounces, 3, 6, 9. Let's just go with the half number, 6. So 6 ounces of meat product give you 44 grams of protein. So you'll still be missing about another 44% of the protein to make a complete protein for that dog. So with that being said, I'm not quite sure what the protein level in these potatoes is, but I'm sure there's some level. So if he ate the whole potato, let's say it was 10 grams of protein in this. So you're at about 54 grams of protein. You'll still be missing about 25 grams of protein if you don't feed the full 9 or 10 ounces of meat. We're not going to be able to give them a full pound of meat, 9, 10 ounces of meat, but what we'll be able to do is give them half of what's recommended. So by giving the dog half of what's recommended, but it's a high quality, they're going to be able to get more out of that, let's say 50 grams of high quality proteins, than they will be able to get out of 100 grams of protein from some dog food. You know, it's the nutritional value. And let's just be honest, dogs don't need to eat every day. So within 2 days, if it can get what it needed for 1 day, the dog will be good to go. And also, maybe you give a cup of dog food, which I believe the cup of dog food probably got like, if it's 30% protein, which most of ours are, which some of ours are, but let's just call it 25 grams of protein, 25% protein, and you got about 100 grams of food, or 100 and I think it's 28 times 8. It's a bunch of grams, so it's at least 50 grams in there. So if you give 1 cup of dog food to go with this, you'll have all the protein you need. But what you might want to do is reduce that to about 4 ounces. So basically you want to fill the dog up. This is all very complicated, but basically what I'm saying is you can give the dog half of what's recommended. That way we're able to stretch this 10 pounds, and then we'll just feed this straight to him in 3 days. Boom, 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 boom. But we want to just show you guys what we're doing. It's very simple. Boom, boom, boom. No mixing and this and that. What we want to do with this is we are going to put this inside of the crock pot, the pork, to break down. We'll probably just do one. It's still half and half. So we'll probably just do half and half and break it down in the crock pot and feed the dogs very little at a time. But they're going to get a whole sweet potato. So just know that they can survive off of 1 sweet potato in a day, you know, and they're going to get a little bit of that and a little bit of dog food as well. So our dogs' coats are always shiny. Our dogs are always more healthy, and everybody's always wondering why. This is why. Sometimes you just got to get off of that dog food and try different things. And this is very simple. So just let y'all know, man, we got some high quality food here, man. And I know I got real crazy with it, but just know that you can get these ingredients. We can sell this to you. If you wanted to buy this complete setup, 40 pounds of sweet potatoes, 40 pounds of chicken, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. I believe I could get you this for, let me see, 12. I can get it to you for about $200. Maybe, yeah, about 200. And if you have just one dog, I mean, this could last you more than a month. But your dog will be very good. And you can eat this. This is food grade. I mean, you can eat some of this. You can eat some of that. You can eat this, make fried chicken, and kind of eat off it too and get you about 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get about 10 meals out of this yourself and still feed your dogs. So if you're looking for something like this, hit me up, man. $200 delivered to your front door. $200 delivered to your front door. And you know, this is gonna make your dog great. And we just boil these, man, and just give it to them. They just eat it up. Got a little crazy on this video, man.